welcome back to Kids Mind, where we come to learn, laugh and explore. Today we are going to be going through art and craft so that we may learn different ways to draw. But before we continue, please make sure to follow us at our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa, SMS line 21144. And as we are going to continue in today's episode, I'll be teaching you how to draw a tortoise in the jungle. So I'll be your teacher for the day, Teacher Alvin, and I really hope that you enjoy. And before we continue, make sure that you have a drawing book, a pencil, and a rubber. Let's continue drawing. So that we may start, we can now first draw a circle for the head, and then we can now draw the posture and as well as a triangle. After doing that, we can add the circle, another half circle, to give the head some detail. As well, we can now add in the shell. So the shell will be a bigger semicircle like that, and you're going to curve it down this way into that way, and so the tail will be a triangle. And so after drawing that, we can now carve out the body. So after carving out, we can now draw circles for the leg, and so we can draw the outline like that. And so at the behind the two legs, we're going to draw the other two, and so we are going to continue on. And so first of all, we are going to carve out the leg like that, same to the other leg, and as well to the other side we can now carve out the other two legs like that. So the shell will have some patterns on it, and so we are going to draw them out. And so we are going to start out by carving out the top part by using different shapes. Having this tortoise is not an ordinary one, but a magical one. And so after drawing that, we can now continue on adding in a few cracks like that for the shell, and we are done. So we are going to now erase the guidelines, and now we are going to darken it out. So in the head, after drawing that, we can draw a small circle, same to that one, and so we are going to carve the circle out and draw in the pupil. After that, we can now start drawing in the legs and the body. And as well, we can add in the tail and the shell on top like that. And so after doing that, on the feet we can add in some small curves to make the toes, and as well some small wrinkles to show that the tortoise is old. And so after doing that, we can also come to the top and start to draw like that. Same thing to the bottom, and we can now and so after drawing them, we can now start to darken them out. And at the top we can add in some more wrinkles to the tortoise. And now after doing that, we can now start to make the jungle. So the first thing that we are going to draw are some bamboos. So we are going to draw the bamboo like this. And so we are going to repeat it a bit to the side. And so after drawing some bamboo, we can also add in some grass for more vegetation. And so on one side behind this tortoise, we can now add in a tree. So after drawing the stem of the tree, we can darken it out so that we can add in the leaves. And so the leaves are going to be like small clouds on the tree. Just like that, and we can also add in a smaller branch. On the sides. And so on the other side, we can as well add in a river. With a small island on the center. So after doing that, we can also add some small rocks as well as some big ones to the riverbank and shade them in a bit to make them look a bit nice. As well as we continue that, behind the rocks we can add in some small vegetations, and we can also add in some flowers. So after adding the flower in, we can add in some more grass along the river bank and also add in a small rock with these curved lines showing the river current smashing beside the rock. As well, we can draw in a small fish jumping out of the water. And we can continue using those lines to add some more river current. As well, behind the tortoise, we can add in a sunset by drawing in a semicircle. And also adding in some clouds. And as well, at a distance, we can now add some birds flying in the sky with some leaves falling off the tree onto the ground. And so after doing that, we can add in some more grass layers along the riverbank. And as well, we can add in a mountain. For the background. I'm really glad that you have enjoyed today's episode, but unfortunately we have to come to the end. And as well, if you have enjoyed, please make sure to follow us at our social media platforms at GBS TV Africa, SMS line 21144. Thank you and have a nice time. Bye.